not their big.
Okay. First Airstream?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with Airstream, we have the keys right here. Okay. Airstreams are a little bit different as far as the entry door is concerned. Okay. There's no way to there's no master lock or key or anything like that to get in here. Everything's all key specific with Airstream, which is a really nice feature. So just moral of the story, make sure you always got keys before you leave. Because if you bump the lock on your way out, the door closes, you're not getting back in unless you call a locksmith. Okay, so keys are important with that.
And there's more than one set.
Yes, there's more than one set. You have one here in my hand, and you'll get the other one when we do the paperwork and everything. Okay. Other than that, really nice entry door. Very nice door, actually. I love the way Airstream does their doors. Very nice. Over here, we have our power jacks. Just extend and retract. This is your rear jacks going down. Your stabilizer jack. Just make contact with the ground a little bit, and then go for maybe a second or two after that, just to take the rod out of the trailer.
Yeah.
And the same thing for the front too.
Oh, geez, you mean we have to deal with power jacks?
Yup,
Oh,
unfortunately.
man.
I know.
No more blocks in the manual thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the power jacks are really nice and everything. They should help you guys out a lot. Then you don't gotta get down there and crank it.
That's good.
It's a very nice feature there.
You know, you always got to get down on your knees, you know.
Yep.
It gets old in the wet.
Yeah. Another nice thing too is this box is weather sealed, so you don't have to worry about water getting in there, shorting out your switches or anything like that. So that's another nice feature here
Okay.
too. Yep.
Same key?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is this key here.
Okay.
Or something.
Yep. All right. Next up over here, we have an outdoor power outlet. It's ground fault protected, so you can plug anything you guys want in on the outside underneath this lovely Pendleton awning. Again, you guys have a nice LED light strip for lighting everything up at night, and you also have the LED light above the door and assist handle lights up too for going inside, which is really nice as well. Next up, your hot water tank. We have an Atwood hot water tank here. This happens to be a 6-gallon capacity hot water tank. Alright. Your drain plug's right here, which is probably the most important thing to know. And it just threads right in there. It's plastic on the metal, easy to cross thread and strip. Be careful putting it in and taking it out.
Yep.
Okay. Other than that, all the controls and everything are all done inside in electric or propane. So you have the option of either one of those.
Leave this here or take this out?
This I would probably take out. They just leave it in there when they
See, it's
make it, ship it, and
fire.
everything.
So.
Yep. Ignites itself by flipping the switch inside. Pressure release valve right here.
Just like a regular hot water tank.
Yep. So once in a while these things drip, you just regulate the pressure on the tank. Just pull on it. Yep. Relieves the pressure and then stops dripping. Yep. Okay, and we do offer in the store those Mondaver wasp screens. They're named after the infamous Mondaver wasp insect. They're custom designed for your fridge, your furnace, and your hot water tank. Keeps all the pesky little insects out and everything, so that way they don't build a nest in there, prevent the appliance from working and kind of gumming up the works.
Good idea.
Labor to take them apart is very expensive. You know, probably about a couple hours worth at least, or more if anything needs to be replaced because a spider made a nest in there. So a little $20 screen is not a bad investment option right there.
Good tip.
Okay. Coming up next, I'm gonna not get hit.
There you go.
All right, but you guys do have this lovely marking right here. Limited edition, number 45 out of 100, so very nice. Congratulations. You got your rock guard windows here. Okay, these are removable. All you gotta do is use a screwdriver, and you can undo these 2 screws here. So you have one here, along here, and then this guy will pop right off, and then you can get your full view from letting all the light in there and everything. Get this nice graphic on the outside too. It's very beautiful, very nice.
Notice that in the back.
Yeah. And then you've got your stainless steel wrappers there as well.
I'm glad they came as standard because I was going to order those anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Storage down in here. We just had your kitchen parts in that back storage compartment for now, and then we also had your
I saw
power
that
cord.
big ball we had down there, yeah.
Yep.
That's a lumper.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, take advantage of this.
Power tongue jack here.
That'd be nice.
Yep. Just like with the stabilizer jacks, no more cranking. You can stand here and on off switch at night for the lights. I can see what I'm doing at night if I got to hook up.
Oh, nice.
Yep. They always say the moment you know camp's set up is when you crack that first beer. I can crack it now because all I have to do is
Push the button, there you go.
Yep. So there you go. But 3,000 pound jack capacity, so that's very nice there. And judging from the looks of the jack down there, you have a couple extra holes in there, so you can probably extend the height of the jack to allow hooking up with a weight distribution hitch a lot easier, which is nice.
And that I'll learn about. I haven't done
Yep.
that before.
Yeah, we'll go over your hitching and everything once we get you all hooked up. Alright. Next up, your propane tanks are in here.
Couple 30s.
Yep, two 30-pound aluminum tanks, and they both have gauges on the tanks, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you have your tank selector actually right here. There is a little notch you can see on this side here, letting me know which tank I'm using.
Okay.
Alright? And then this particular regulator will switch over from one to the other if both of them are open. However, we do still recommend using one tank at a time. That way you know when you do run out of propane. Yeah. Alright. And then this regulator here, you'll see green there. That means you got propane, and it's red if you don't.
It's a nice handle hookup. That'll be good.
Yeah. These tanks are really sharp too. This is a really, really nice
The
unit.
current one is exposed, so you get, you always have to keep that painted and greased up there, otherwise it'll freeze up.
Yep.
Right, that part of that roughing it deal. Yeah.
Yep. Alright.
Oh, it's got a level, huh?
Yep, and it has a level built in there too, which is nice, so that'll kind of help you.
I assume.
Yep. You guys do have your 2 interstate batteries behind there as well. Yep. Down here, we're going to have our quick connect propane fitting, so that way you can tap into the propane tanks on the front of the unit, whether it's like a portable grill or maybe a portable campfire, because some state parks and everything are actually not allowing campfires anymore. You can actually get a portable campfire and hook it in and use it on your propane.
Access.
Yep.
Super. We've got a nice little outdoor grill.
Yeah. This guy here, your window, make sure you loosen these before you try and close it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll bend these arms here. And this also has the graphic on the front up there.
Okay.
But that's just going to allow you guys to actually open this window for ventilation. You got to have this open first.
Is this spring loaded?
No, this is
Okay,
just
that's
all
good.
tight down the knob there.
That'll help. That'll help you remind me of that.
Yeah.
And that's good. If it were spring loaded, it'd be easier to forget.
Yeah. All right. Moving around this way, you're going to find your tire information over here. Go by whatever you see on the sticker as far as inflation pressures and everything. Okay? So it says your tire should be at, Airstream recommends 80 psi.
Okay.
Okay? And then just the weights and everything on the unit are right there, which is nice. Okay? Down here, Airstream does provide you with this little section for sewer hose storage. Not all sewer hoses will fit in there though, unfortunately, but as long as it fits in there, awesome.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I see some of them, depending on the configuration, some of them come in their own little carry box or whatever.
Yeah.
Depends on which brand you pick.
Hypothetically speaking, should your jacks not work, the stabilizer jacks that is, okay, there is a manual override built in. Okay?
Okay, there is a crank somewhere.
Yep, right here on this side of the jack, there's a peg
Okay.
with 2 little T's sticking out of it. You can actually hook up an adapter on that and actually crank the jacks back up if necessary.
Okay.
Okay? Alright?
Comes with a crank?
It should, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Wow. Here we have all the fun stuff. Okay, so we have lights so we can see what we're doing at night, first of all. I love that. Airstream's the one that does that. It's just fantastic. Okay. Then we have our main holding tank, which is our black tank, and our auxiliary or wash holding tank, that's our gray tank. Alright? So after we hook up our sewer hose, we're going to pull the black tank first, and then the gray, and all I got to do to pull the handle is that, and then pull this straight out. Okay? Airstream actually kind of puts this little lock in place so that way it doesn't pop open while you're traveling down the highway, because that would not be fun to clean up.
You never pull the handle until you're hooked up.
That too. Should be common sense, but it's not
It should
common in
be,
everybody,
but we've
unfortunately.
seen it, yeah.
Yep.
And you do the black first, and then you do the gray. That way you get a wash, sort of a wash out of it.
Yep. And then next up we have the outside shower here.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. See, we may still use our outdoor shower.
Yep. Got the hot and cold water faucet here, and the shower head just hooks right on there. So if you guys could rinse off if you're at the campground, got sand, mud, stuff like that. That way it doesn't get tracked to the inside of the unit. Okay.
Now, is the unit empty at its present state, or is it winterized?
It is currently winterized. Right?
Currently winterized.
Yep.
All right.
Just with the weather and everything in the area, they stay winterized.
Well, I was figuring they might fill it at the factory to check plumbing.
Oh yeah, they do
And then
all that.
it was,
Yeah.
It was early in the season, so I figured they might.
Yep.
I saw you blow it out and then you winterize with the liquid. So.
Yep. Yeah, our guys go through a full prep when they get it in just to make sure everything works.
Ah.
So you have had water pressurized in the system
Since
and
it's
no
been here.
leaks and everything since it's been here. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep. Gravity water fill for your fresh water holding tank. Okay. Alright. Put the hose in there and fill till it spits back at you, or she's inside yelling at you, turn the hose off. And then your drain for your freshwater tank is back there behind the tires.
Okay.
Next up, we have our city water connection. So that's where you're just going to hook your water hose up to for water services at the campground. We have a built-in black tank flushing system on the unit. Have you used one before?
No.
Alright, very, very important to remember. Your black tank valve must be open while you flush out the inside of the tank. Okay?
Okay.
If you don't, you can actually pressurize the tank and one of three things can possibly happen.
None of them good.
None of them are good. One is the water actually blows out the plumbing vents on the roof and showers poop water on top of you. Everybody's seen an RV with Robin Williams, you don't want to end up like him. Okay? Second one is you can actually get water coming up to the floor on the unit. Okay? And I have had a customer tell me that a friend of theirs blew their toilet off the floor because too much pressure had built in there and it just blew the toilet off the floor. So, always make sure that the black tank valve is open while you flush out the inside of the tank.
Okay.
In case you forget, there is a warning sticker underneath there for that very reason.
And we'll leave that there.
Yes. Alright. So when you're dumping the tanks, if you have water available to use at the dump station, you do your black first still, then you flush it out. Only needs to run for a couple minutes or so, so like 2 to 5 minutes, and then you can shut that off, close the black tank valve, and switch over to your gray.
Sounds fair.
Alright. Here we have your TV and satellite connection, so cable or satellite in. If you're at a campground that offers cable, you just have to provide your own cable because you're in, and satellite would be for a portable dish. Okay. Detachable 50 amp power supply cord. Okay, just twist and lock there. This is your cord, and they did give you the dog bone and everything to take you from 50 amps down to 30 amps. So that way, no matter what campground you go to, you'll be able to plug in either way.
We've been bumping up all these years. Now we'll be bumping down. Yeah.
Yep. So just if you had to, you got the option there.
Good deal. Is this 25 feet or?
I believe it is 25 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, the 50 amp cords are anywhere between 30 and 25 feet, but 25 is pretty common. All right.
Looks beefy enough.
Yep. Here's the back of the fridge. Active canister technicians, there's nothing back here for you. Airstream has actually already applied some amount of screening on the back of this, so that way you don't have to worry about bugs getting in here. But I would recommend still doing the ones for the hot water tank and the furnace.
Yeah, that's a great idea because I clean the wasps out every year in our furnace vent.
Yep. All right. For your awning here, okay, this is on constant spring tension. All you're gonna do is pull it out. Just hook it up right there, and there we go. Now we have our side awning to help keep the unit nice and cool. All right. When it is all the way up, there's a hook up there, which they have an awning rod to actually allow you to do it a lot easier. I'll show you that when we get inside. Okay. But all you're going to do is hook it to lock it in place. But this is on constant spring tension, wanting to stay against the trailer. So don't let go of that strap once you take it off.
It'll flap.
Exactly. All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Watch your step over the cord.
Yep. Next up here, we have the furnace exhaust. It's very hot, so don't touch it. Common sense, I know, but unfortunately, in the world we live in, common sense isn't that common nowadays. So just be aware that it can get pretty hot.
We have a furnace in our current unit. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And again, they do make a screen for that too. Okay. Coming around the back here. Cloth. Yep. It's one place people usually like to store their sewer hose.
Yep. I've read that. That's a good idea.
And again, you have another window awning back here as well. Okay. This guy here actually is supported on these bars here. Yep. And it's easy to go through. Yep. There we go. Yep. And then that'll give you shade and everything off the back here. Okay. And again, constant spring tension, so be careful. Awesome. This is really nice. The door here.
The 8-hour feature.
Yep. If you guys need to load a canoe or bikes or anything that you guys are going to take with you when you do go camping in this gorgeous unit, you have the ability to do so here. And then you have this pull-down screen here, which has magnets that'll hold it down. You can actually use it to vent out the unit for a nice cross breeze and things like that. Because it's easier to show here, you do have an inverter circuit here, which we'll talk more about when we go inside, as well as 2 USB charging ports right there. Okay. That's it for the door back here. Very sharp. You do have to twist it to close it there though. Alright. Alright. Now once again I will not hit myself. And then we'll come to the awning and
Just bumper.
yep, just bumpers and then close it up. Okay. Nice illuminated grab handle so that way you can assist yourself getting in there. I love this feature here. It's a doorbell. I love it.
How cute is that?
Yeah. I've never seen trailers with doorbells until now. It's fantastic. Alright.
I kill that.
Yep. You also have your entry step here. So just kind of flip around.
Yeah, Heather was specific with us at the factory. She said it folds up.
Yep.
Don't roll it.
Yeah.
Fold it up.
And then
Yep.
go. Alright. So we've got a couple of light switches here. This one down here on the bottom, that's going to be for your LED light on the awning. And it has a
Okay.
dimmer function on it, so you can actually dim the lights down if you want, if it's too bright. The same thing for the interior lights, you can actually dim them if necessary.
Mood lighting.
Yep. More on-off light switches here. Your battery disconnect, so that actually kills the 12-volt power to the coach during storage is when you would use that. So while you're
that's
traveling,
what it is. Okay.
you're going to actually leave your batteries on. Okay, that way they charge off the truck and everything. And then when you're using it, obviously they'll be on and everything too. And then just when you're done, hit store and you're all set. Now your power awning, very nice feature. So this is a zip-D awning, and typically they're manual awnings on Airstreams. Alright, but here you have, it actually tells you if it's open or closed with LED lighting down here. So you got a green light for open,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. But it's just a one-touch push button, and you can tilt it. So now I can adjust the pitch if necessary, or if it's too high.
Rain too.
Yep. And all I did was push the button once and it went, it'll go like a preset amount of time and just travel and everything. When I'm ready to close it up, it'll readjust the pitch and everything while it's closing up the awning. Well, they're on constant spring tension, just like your side awning and your back awning, but they have like their own support arms and everything. You still got to set up manually, and like you typically would.
Look at the little aluminum thing wraps around.
Yep. You have the aluminum shielding up there to protect your awning tube. You have a nice acrylic fabric up there, the Pendleton fabric, so it's going to be protected when you guys are not using it, which is important.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And inside we'll go.
Now, if that's wet, like for canvas campers, you know, you always have to open them and dry them when you get home.
Yep.
You should do the same thing
You
here.
should still do the same, yeah. Yep. All right. Come on in.
Welcome aboard.
We're going to do the start in the bedroom and work our way back towards the door.
Okay.
Come on, follow me.
Let me play around.
Very nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay. So up here in the bedroom, we have two 110 outlets and dual USB charging outlets, so you can charge devices off of there if you need be, which is pretty nice. Okay. Cabinet storage and everything back there. You can actually close off your vents and everything for your air conditioning, which is nice. So you can route the airflow if you need to. Yep. And you can even rotate the vents, which is also a nice feature there. Carbon monoxide detector is up there, so it's another one of your safety detectors. You have 3 of them in here: carbon monoxide, propane, and your smoke alarm. Okay. The shades on an Airstream trailer, just like those awnings. Careful, constant spring tension. Okay. They just hook right in there. Right. Your emergency exit window, you can still actually use to vent the trailer out. All right. Just gonna push up and then lock your window in the tracks on the side here.
Okay.
Now I can let that nice cross breeze in through here. If you pull on this though, that's when the window's kind of done, so try not to mess with this, or make sure to tell the grandkids or kids, nieces, nephews, cousins, whoever's with you.
It's a one-time and done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't touch that strap.
Okay.
Alright. And then one of the tricks you can do with these windows is if they are giving you problems with closing or opening, they say draw a credit card or like a shopper's club card or something underneath there.
Okay.
Because sometimes under the heat the seals stick to the window.
Sure.
And they are kind of difficult to open, so just something to remember there. Alright. You do have an inverter circuit that the TV is currently plugged into, so that means it will work off the battery, and you know it's an inverter circuit because they're all labeled by a blue sticker that tells you so.
Okay.
Alright? And then light switches for inside your cabinet. Radio control. Alright? You can actually control the radio. You have a Polk audio system inside the coach, so you can control it back here, or you can control it up there in the living area. Alright? Both devices, they all work the same, so really easy to pick up and everything there. Thermostat setting. Next up is the thermostat. So, backlighting has to be lit to get this Dinette thermostat to work, period. Alright, you can't do anything unless the backlighting is lit up. Doesn't matter what button you push, it will light up the backlighting and then you can turn it on.
Okay.
Alright? You have 2 zones this thing is set up on, okay? Right now you have heat pump, fan, cool, auto, and that's it for zone number 1, okay? Auto feature on this will take the unit up or down to whatever temperature you have pre-programmed that furnace at, or the thermostat at, okay? You can set a clock, you can set a program on there. If we go into zone 2, cool, auto, heat pump, furnace, fan, and off. So zone 2 is where you're going to get access to your propane furnace to keep the coach nice and warm. So that means that zone 1 is going to be kind of up here, zone 2 is in the back of the coach.
Okay.
Alright. Temperature adjust on the plus and minus there, and then you have your Fahrenheit Celsius switch over, and then button here tells you how warm it is inside the coach too, which is nice. One thing we have noticed with these Dinette thermostats is because it's a Dinette thermostat, a Dinette air conditioner, but an Atwood furnace, the Atwood furnace doesn't always ignite when you have the fan mode in anything else but auto.
Okay.
So you want to have the fan in auto while running the furnace. Okay? Otherwise, sometimes they don't ignite, sometimes the blower doesn't even kick on.
It's a safety feature
Yeah.
on ours. It won't either unless the blower's running.
Yeah. So just something to keep in mind. Okay?
Yep.
You do have the Pendleton collection
Very
stuff
nice.
here. So nice pillows and everything. And a nice blanket. And then Airstream also has another box of goodies and everything
For your
here.
vehicle, super.
Yep. Oh, it does come with the bear.
Yeah.
I always wondered. I see it in the pictures, and does he actually come with the bear? Yeah, he comes with the bear.
Yeah.
It's a Pendleton bear. Look at that.
The Pendleton bear.
Yeah.
And the buffalo pillow somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, very very cool. That is awesome. I'm excited about that find there. So little things. Alright, hold on this strap here, and then you'll actually allow your TV to swing out.
Okay, so
that way
there's
you
a
can
travel
watch
strap.
it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is just hold on that, and it releases that there.
Okay, good deal.
And then you'll be able to watch the television inside here. Yep. And we actually live in a decent area, so we are actually able to pull in channels and everything. Oh. And we just shut it off. If you ever have to do it manually, there's a little joystick on the back. All you do is push in and it turns the TV on. Push and hold and you can turn it off, or you can use the joystick to manipulate and go through the channel, the settings, and all that stuff, which is nice too.
Yeah, I saw all of the controllers and my packet in one of the drawers, or I don't know, in the shower or something.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other questions in the bedroom area?
Curtains are manual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are manual.
So that's
Yep. You're just gonna kind of pull them along the track here.
the switches for this lighting here, are they on the switches on the lamps themselves? Okay.
Yep. And then you can adjust them.
Sound speakers? I'm
Yep.
assuming?
Speakers for the Polk audio, which again is all controlled up there. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Little green light here means
Just that there's power going to it, so you can
just
use
that
it.
it's hot and good.
Yep. Yep. And then just in the bedroom too, you can dim the lights too.
Mood lighting, honey.
Mood lighting.
You'll have to bring the mood. I thought I'd throw that in.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, moving on back. Pieces of glass tend to be expensive and are difficult to, not easy to replace. All right. Ow. It hurt if you hit your side here too. All right. Inside your shower though, you do have the
Clothesline.
clothesline.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and you can adjust the how high and everything that goes to, which is nice. You guys have a Dinette 320 toilet. It's just a foot flush toilet, so standard camper toilet. Step on the pedal lightly. It's gonna put water in the bowl. The rest of the way, I'll flush everything down for you. Okay. GFI protected outlet there, and then here we go. Hot water tank controls are over here on this wall though. Propane for the flame, electric for the lightning bolt. Choose whichever system you want to use and you're good to go. Alright? If this light is lit up in the center, that means that your pilot for your hot water tank was not able to light. So there's probably an air pocket in the system, or I knew I forgot something when I set up the camp and I just forgot to turn the propane on. It's usually the two things that happen most often. Okay? And then just the light switch there.
Will it let you fire either of them if it's not full of water?
Yeah, I can turn them on right now.
So I'll have to be careful of that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, which we don't want to do, so.
Exactly.
Alright.
Exactly.
And then just be careful with your medicine cabinet up here, because you don't want to, because of the angle and everything, you don't want to slam it.
There's a lot of storage in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
see ya.
Alright. I'm gonna do paperwork. Coming up next, down here we're gonna have our propane gas detector. Okay. Hardwired into the trailer was where it's gonna get its power from, so the trailer batteries. Couple things that can set this guy off: low battery voltage, some scented cleaning chemicals, some spray suntan lotion, and hairspray can actually cause that to go off. Bleach and ammonia can actually damage that sensor should you use them to clean in here. You can. Just be careful because the fumes are not only hazardous to the sensor, but they're hazardous to you as well.
Sure.
And then any pets going to be going with you at all?
Yeah.
You guys taking the goldfish out?
Taking the dogs.
Nice. Okay, dogs. Alright. Are they gassy?
No, no, not usually, no.
Because dog
They
farts
too
will set
can set it off?
Yep.
Wow. Hey, we have a dog detector now.
Yep. Methane and propane are both natural gases, which is why it'll register. And dogs are down at this level, they have been known to set it off. Okay? And yes, people can set it off too. It's been thoroughly tested and proven by a 9-year-old during a walkthrough I've given. And that is a true story. So
So
just
how do
be
you
aware.
shut it off if
If it goes off, whether it's a propane leak or the chemical you're using to clean the floor or the dog sets it off, there's a mute button right down here where my finger is. That will silence the alarm for approximately like 2 to 5 minutes or so, and then it will kick back on. So it works just like a snooze alarm as long as the fumes are still present.
You have to ventilate.
Yep. So you have to disperse the fumes away from it to get it to stop coming back on. Okay?
That's how you know when you're safe.
Yep. Any questions?
Nope.
Alright. Next up here, we have your Airstream box of goodies.
There's our backup camera.
And your backup camera. So there's your digital wireless observation backup camera. And then there's just some more goodies and stuff in there that came with the trailer. So your crank handle, your propane hose, some extra TV parts, good stuff.
Okay.
Alright. You got your pocket doors here.
Let's see, this one comes in through here.
Yep. And then I'll hook in there and give you guys your privacy. Or a guest.
We won't be using that.
Yep. Down here, we're gonna have your power box.
Oh, there's the brains.
Yep. So we're gonna have your 12-volt fuses over here. Okay. That's gonna be all your 12-volt stuff. That's mainly like your lights and things like that. And you have your 110 breakers up there for all the other appliances and everything in here. So that's your go-to troubleshooting spot.
Those fuses, are they all the same amperage?
Yeah, they all seem to be 15 amp.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll get a package of those.
Yep. Always good to travel with extras.
Yes.
Always good.
Now, is that a standard automotive fuse?
Yep, standard
okay.
ATC blade fuses, same thing you use
So
in the
any
car.
place on the road.
Yep.
Okay. Storage.
Storage. Microwave / convection oven. Power kicks onto it once you open that up, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And that's it. Just microwave.
Nice.
Yep. Alright, and then just some more storage and everything up there. Cooktop here. Very nice. Glass surface covering. It is not a cooking surface. That's what the little sticker there is also a warning for. So you gotta have it up to actually cook off of it. Okay?
Sounds reasonable.
Yep. Alright, so to light it, all you're gonna do, this is your oven light switch here. This little star switch, that's your sparker.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you turn this guy over to light, and then hit your sparker, and then it'll ignite your cooktop there. Oven. I don't see a pilot for this oven, so it's very nice pilotless oven, so you don't have to light that. Other than that, just some more storage and everything in here. silverware tray. Your drawers all have the nice catches in them and everything. Yep. Come up next over here. Your very expensive garbage can.
Okay.
Alright. And it's got a little cover on it. That's actually kind of cool. I've never seen that before, so that's a nice feature.
Keep the smell down.
Yeah. Alright. Up here you got your sea level 2 tank monitor system. Your water pump switch is located on here. You're going to have this guy here. Just push it and it'll tell you how full everything is. Your batteries are at 13.3. Your fresh tank is at 0%. Because this reads in everything in percentage now. Okay, your gray, your black, your propane, it's reading 43%. Okay. Inverter on-off switch. So if the light's on, your inverter's on. If the light's off, your inverter's off. This is going to allow you to access certain things off of the battery. So like the TV's off the inverter circuit. And some other things like that, some other outlets like that one down there.
Small draw stuff.
Exactly, like a cell phone charger or the television is what that's ideal for. Alright? You wouldn't be able to use anything like your air conditioning or anything like that, but it is nice there.
Boondocking.
Yep, you got it.
The 2 bottom switches. Oh, the lights. Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay. Next up behind you here, we got your fridge. So, controls for the fridge are actually up here. Alright. So I turn it on, and then over here in the corner, it gives me a reading, and it right now is telling me I'm on propane only. So I'm push the button for auto, and now I'm going to default to electricity. We'll switch to propane automatically should I lose power. And if I want to change it to propane, just switch it over again. However, if I leave it in auto, and once I unplug the cord and I'm ready to go, I can travel with my fridge cooling down on propane as I travel down the road. So that's a very nice feature there. And you have a temperature set button, 1 through 5, 5 being the coldest number. So that's just how you're going to control the coldness of the fridge. And in case you do forget anything, directions are also right there on the bottom.
Always helpful.
Always helpful. Alright.
Leave it off.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's where I saw it in the fridge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we store your manuals and your remotes in your fridge not because it's a convenient storage spot at all, and every unit usually has a fridge. Because once you start reading the nice, cold, crisp feel of a page, or start changing the channels with that, you'll never go back. Not really, but yeah. And that is all the manuals and the remotes and everything for the RV, which is nice.
Cool.
Smoke detectors right over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, you have your fantastic fans. Okay. All I gotta do is flip a switch. Now the fan's gonna open. All right.
Very nice.
And this does have the rain sensor built into it, so if it does get start raining outside, it's designed to close automatically. And it does have a temperature setting over here, so that way I can actually adjust the temperature and it'll kick on and off if it gets too hot in here. So if you guys,
that's what we've been using in our other one.
Yep. So if you guys did have the dogs with you, you left them in here to run the store or something,
Yep.
you don't have to worry about that. Just keep the fan open.
Yep.
And then if it didn't rain, you guys can always install also go down the road with vent covers, install those, and then you don't have to worry about if it rains while you guys are out of everything.
Yeah, we've got a snoot hood on ours.
Mm-hmm. Very popular add-on for customers.
Short of an air conditioner,
Yep.
it's the way to cool, especially at night.
Yep.
Will this intake as well as exhaust, I assume?
No.
No.
This one will not.
One
This
way.
is just exhaust only.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we're spoiled with AC.
Yep.
When do we have a plug?
Alright.
Oh.
Up in here, you have your Samsung Blu-ray player. Has a USB connection right in here, so you can actually hook up a USB device. Okay. There's another USB connector right there. This is going to be used for the radio. So if you wanted to hook a USB device like an iPod or something, play it through the stereo, you can do that here. You also have the auxiliary input cord right there as well.
Pandora, here we come.
Yeah. Party in the Airstream. Folk audio, sound system. Here's your front control setup.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. It's also Bluetooth capable, so you can actually sync your phone up with it, and you can play music off your phone through the stereo.
Perfect.
Yep. Alright. Any other questions or anything so far?
Nope, we're good. So far, so good.
Alright. Next up, you're just going to have the slide out spot for a bed.
Oh.
You can use the cushions and everything to make up a sleeping spot for someone here.
Wow. That won't ever happen.
And then the table, you can actually drop that down, and your table will be supported up here, and then the dinette turns into a bed just like in pretty much every single camper out there.
Now for traveling, should the table be down?
It's all your own personal preference. You can travel with it like this. You can travel with it down in the bed mode and have your table legs stored in a cabinet or something. That's all your own personal preference. I guess it would also determine if you needed to load anything in here for traveling.
Well, I was just curious if it's substantial enough the way it is to remain upright, or
yes, it can.
Okay.
Yep.
Because our other one didn't have any locks or anything, so it would bounce out. There was a cup on the floor, but it would bounce out. So we always left it down.
Yep. This one here, you gotta step on this guy here, the little button on the bottom. When you
release
twist the leg out, yeah.
Okay, so it has a lock. That's
Yep.
a big difference.
Yep.
Good.
Cool.
Thanks.
That's pretty much it for the Airstream.
Okay. Because we were looking for years at a Bambi and a Safari, and we were kind of spoiled because the little 16-foot fiberglass one we have now was such a bargain when we got it.
Yeah.
So that when we looked at the Bambi, $35,000 seemed to be a lot of money for us at the time.
Sure.
For the amount of appeal we had, we were kind of like, oh gosh, it's ultra modern. I mean, it was sleek, it was clean, but we're colonial or antique kind of people.
It was just so modern.
And this one was just so retro and just so perfect for what we were looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally saw it the first time we toured the factory. I mean, other than that, we saw it online.
Yeah.
But came home that night, and the next morning I I emailed them that night, and I said, call me in the morning, I want to buy one.
You talking to Tim? Talking about Tim?
This was a guy in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
And they had already sold their 3, and they wangled another one somehow. And I was at the dentist the next morning. I got home around lunchtime after running a couple errands. He'd sold it. And that was when Tim hooked us up with you guys, and I wasn't going to hesitate twice. I was ready. I'm like, yeah, we want one.
Yeah.
So, and each time we've seen it, I can't speak for you, but I've been happier each time we've seen it.
That's great.
So
I know you mentioned you wanted to kind of tour the national parks. Do you have anything planned yet as far as what you're going to do with it?
I'm fortunate. I've been a scout leader for 30 years,
right.
And we've done high adventure, and I did a couple YMCA trips, and my folks were big on the national parks when we were kids.
Right.
It was car trips. And this one has only been to Yosemite.
Last fall.
So
was my first national park.
My goal will be to go to all of the parks.
Yeah.
Although we live 5 minutes from the Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
A newer park.
Yeah, but that's our bucket list to do the national parks.
Yeah. And
AAA had an article. Ohio Motors Association had an article in their monthly magazine last month on Route 66.
Oh yeah.
And I had mentioned it when we first were down at the Airstream factory, because they had Route 66 tiki lights around their entryway right in the main lobby there. And I said to Sue, did you see the Route 66 lights? I said, maybe we should put that on our list.
Yeah.
And the article in the AAA magazine was all about how it isn't the 66 of old. Like when I was a kid, we traveled across the country on Route 66, and it went from east to west. I mean, Interstate 80 was, coming later.
Right.
But now a lot of 66 has died because it's been absorbed by other bigger freeways and stuff.
It's too bad.
And a lot of the little mom and pop shops in towns have disappeared until you get really west,
Yeah.
and then a lot of it stays the same.
But
So-
I think that might be some of the appeal is going through the mom and pops.
Oh, very definitely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's the adventure.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. No
Right.
rush. You know.
Yeah.
And as they say, you know, boondocking with our little one, we've enjoyed. We have a little fold-out table and some chairs.
Yeah.
You know, you get to a beautiful overlook on a valley or something, and you say, "Hey, how about lunch?"
Right.
And you pull over and you make yourself some lunch, and you get a couple cold beverages, and you sit outside and
Right.
you
Go
know
at your
enjoy
own-
the trip.
Go at your own pace.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very different. I mean, we love a Best Western. You know, when the need arises, but there are just sometimes when you aren't going to get the opportunities.
The need won't arise anymore.
No, to see what you'll see. I mean, and I've told her this from my scouting experience. You know, you have to get off the beaten path to
Sure.
see the really exciting stuff.
And there's something about seeing an Airstream with the mountains in the background and the desert. It's just
It fits.
it just seems like it works. It really does. It really does.
It fits. No, this will be perfect. I mean, I'm ecstatic.
Excellent. Good.